Company. It's just coming up to 3 p.m. on Bright to Super's People's Day. And I'm Lyndsey Douglas. This is Kelly Freeman. Kelly, you head up the multinational agri-giant Nutrien, based across 13 different countries, including Canada, where you're originally from. You look after the Australian arm. There's so much to talk about with you here today. But let's talk about where you come from, a tiny little town, fourth generation farmer.
You bet. I'm proud Canadian farm boy from the heart of the Canadian prairies. When people ask where I'm from, that's what I always say. It's a tiny dot on the map, town of Simpson, Saskatchewan, which is 150 people. Yeah, involved in farming right from when I was born. A fourth generation family farm, broadacre farm, canola, wheat, some pulses and barley. My two older brothers are on there. So when I say agriculture is in my blood, and I love it.
You're based now in Melbourne, looking after a gigantic operation over here with Nutrien in Australia. You've got so many wonderful facets to your company, but last year the big challenge was urea for farmers. This year it's fertilizer. How did you get over the hurdle last year, and what are you doing this year about fertilizer access and shortages?
Yeah, so in agriculture, every season presents new challenges. As we know, lots of those are weather related, lots of those are the last couple of years have been supply chain. Urea was a big challenge last year in terms of it didn't look like there was going to be a season there. Not as much product was brought in on time maybe, and we ended up having a bit more favorable growing conditions, and growers seen opportunity out in the crop, and if you have opportunity you're going to go chase it, and that requires good fertilizer and good fertility. So we were able to manage through that this year. I think in this coming growing season, we're much better positioned. I think as an industry, we've been able to get the product where it needs to be. We're just getting into our fertilizer season here now. But I think the core for us is we're continuing to invest in our people and our systems and infrastructure. That's really where we're focused.
You're in an unusual and lucky position, I guess, in that you've really experienced agribusiness in the Americas. You spent time in South America, you spent time in North America with your career, and now in Australia. How are we perceived around the world? What do they look to Australians for? I'm curious to know.
Well, Australia, in many regards, is a beautiful country. First of all, great people, and a very proud history of agriculture and a very proud future in agriculture. When we look as a company where we want to invest, and obviously we've invested in South America, we've invested in North America, but we have invested significantly in Australia and will continue. We look, when we think about Australian agriculture, very resilient growers, very innovative growers, very growers that are focused on serving the opportunities that they have. We're on the doorstep of some of the big growing economies. Australia is very well positioned, right from the beef we're exporting to the crops we're exporting. So a lot of investment is flowing into Australia. It's a great place to invest, and it has a bright future in agriculture.
Nutrien's Kelly Freeman, great to have you at Beef TV, and enjoy your week here for Beef 2024.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Well, the power of genomics tools are shaping the way we develop our herd.